Philadelphia Eagles are back in the spotlight as they gear up for a high-stakes Monday Night Football showdown against the Green Bay Packers. After last week's tough loss at home to the Carolina Panthers, the Eagles find themselves just slightly favored in this matchup. But as fans know, that underdog mentality is part of what drives the city and the team. The energy around Philadelphia is electric, and with a season that has seen its fair share of highs and lows, every game is another chance for the Eagles to prove themselves. Over the years, the rivalry with Green Bay has quietly grown into one of the most compelling matchups in the NFC. Though these two teams are not in the same division, the tension between them has escalated through several intense encounters, making each meeting feel like a playoff battle even in the regular season. Philadelphia's last face-off with the Packers in Brazil during Week 1 of the 2024 season ended in a 34-29 victory, but not without its challenges. Early turnovers put the Eagles on the back foot, and it was only through resilience and key offensive adjustments that they managed to pull off the win. Later in the season at Lincoln Financial Field, the Eagles dominated with a 22-10 victory, forcing multiple turnovers from Green Bay quarterback Jordan Love. That game highlighted both the potential and the occasional inconsistency of the Eagles' offense, and it also set the tone for the ongoing rivalry. Throughout the offseason, discussions about rules like the tush-push and other tactical adjustments kept fans engaged and the rivalry simmering. Social media became a battleground for Eagles and Packers supporters alike, a digital extension of the competition on the field. The upcoming matchup carries even greater weight because of playoff implications. Both teams are considered top contenders in the NFC, and each is fighting to secure a prime spot as the season progresses. For Jalen Hurts, this will mark his first appearance at Lambeau Field since the official start of his era as Philadelphia's franchise quarterback. Looking back to Week 13 of 2020, the circumstances couldn't have been more different. That was the final season for Doug Peterson and Carson Wentz, and the Eagles were struggling mightily. Hurts stepped in during a quiet, fanless stadium due to the pandemic, showing flashes of the talent and leadership that would soon define his career. From that point, Hurts became the starter, eventually finishing as a runner-up in the MVP voting and leading the team to 2 Super Bowl appearances, including a Super Bowl victory against Kansas City, where he was named MVP. This game at Lambeau Field, therefore, represents a milestone in Hurts' journey, and fans are eager to see how he handles the pressure of such a storied venue under primetime lights. Green Bay, meanwhile, has had a season full of peaks and valleys. They opened impressively with dominant victories over Detroit and Washington, only to stumble against Cleveland in Week 3 and then tie Dallas in a dramatic overtime contest. The Packers have shown flashes of brilliance, particularly when quarterback Jordan Love is in rhythm, completing long streaks of passes and moving the ball efficiently. Yet inconsistencies, particularly in the red zone and in balancing the run and pass game, have been recurring concerns. Defensively, Green Bay has made strides under coordinator Jeff Hafley, with Micah Parsons' presence bolstering the front seven. However, injuries have complicated matters, with key players such as Tucker Kraft out and others like Matthew Golden and Cobby Wooden facing questionable statuses. These factors add another layer of uncertainty to a game already loaded with intensity. For the Eagles, the bye week offered an opportunity to recalibrate. Coming off consecutive wins against Minnesota and the New York Giants, Philadelphia has begun to find its rhythm, particularly on offense under Jalen Hurts' leadership. The running game has shown new life, with SAQUON Barkley and Tank Bigsby combining for explosive yardage and multiple touchdowns. The offense has started to balance effectively between the air and ground attack, creating a dynamic that can challenge even the most disciplined defenses. On defense, Vic Fangio's unit has tightened up, displaying a bend but don't break philosophy that has allowed the team to weather offensive surges and capitalize on turnovers when necessary. The Eagles' general manager, Howie Roseman, also made key moves during the trade window, adding Michael Carter in the slot, veteran cornerback Gur Alexander, and edge rusher Jalen Phillips, providing fresh depth and versatility to an already talented roster. Integrating these new players will be critical as the Eagles look to maintain momentum and adapt to the evolving challenges posed by Green Bay. Injuries and player availability will play a significant role in this game. For the Eagles, players like Nolan Smith, Jack Bennett, and Cam Jurgens could return, adding strength and experience to a team that has already proven capable of overcoming adversity. Meanwhile, the Packers face the loss of Tucker Kraft, whose dynamic contributions in both blocking and receiving have been sorely missed, and others remain questionable due to various injuries. This will test the Eagles' defensive planning, particularly in their off-ball linebacker rotation and ability to disrupt the Packers' offensive rhythm. Creating pressure on Jordan Love early will be essential, as it can dictate the flow of the game and force turnovers that could swing momentum in Philadelphia's favor. Hurts' efficiency, combined with a strong ground game, will be key to keeping the Packers' defense off balance and exploiting gaps created by injuries or mismatches. Weather conditions at Lambeau Field could further influence the outcome. November temperatures in Green Bay are notoriously harsh, with forecasts for this Monday night game predicting lows around 25 degrees and wind gusts that may reach 22 miles per hour. While snow is not expected, the cold and the biting wind will test both teams' ability to execute cleanly, particularly in the passing game. In these conditions, establishing a reliable running attack becomes even more important, and the Eagles' backfield has demonstrated the talent and physicality necessary to thrive in such an environment. SAQUON Barkley's breakaway ability and Tank Bigsby's consistency offer Philadelphia the chance to control tempo, shorten the game, and force Green Bay into difficult situations where mistakes are more likely. Statistically, the Eagles and Packers bring different strengths to the matchup. Green Bay has performed well in points per game, yards per game, and third down conversions, but has struggled to convert efficiently in the red zone, as seen in their loss to Carolina. The Eagles, while ranking lower in overall yards per game, lead the league in red zone scoring efficiency and have shown remarkable resilience, particularly in recent weeks. Maintaining possession, controlling tempo, and minimizing turnovers will be vital strategies, as both teams have shown the ability to capitalize on mistakes. Hurts' leadership and the offensive line's execution, combined with a disciplined defensive approach, could be the decisive factors in determining which team emerges with the upper hand in this clash of NFC contenders. As the Eagles prepare to take the field at Lambeau Field, all eyes will be on how effectively they can implement their game plan. The matchup carries playoff intensity even at this stage of the season, reflecting the physicality, history, and stakes of a true NFC rivalry. Key matchups, individual player performances, and tactical adjustments will all shape the narrative, but ultimately, this game is about the Eagles seizing the moment, responding to adversity, and proving that they are the team to beat in the NFC. Every throw, every rush, and every defensive stand will be magnified under the primetime lights, as the Birds look to soar past Green Bay and solidify their standing at the top of the conference. As we turn our focus to the finer details of this matchup, it becomes clear that execution on both sides of the ball will define the outcome. Philadelphia's offense, led by Jalen Hurts, has shown tremendous growth over the season, and the challenge against Green Bay's defense will be a test of consistency and adaptability. Hurts has been phenomenal, combining precision passing with an ability to extend plays using his legs. His decision-making has improved dramatically, reducing turnovers and allowing the Eagles to capitalize on key opportunities. The success of the running game, spearheaded by SAQUON Barkley and Tank Bigsby, cannot be overstated. When the Eagles establish a reliable ground attack, they open up the passing lanes and keep the opposing defense off balance. Both Barkley and Bigsby have proven capable of explosive plays, breaking through tackles, and finding open space with a physicality that is particularly suited for the cold, windy conditions at Lambeau Field. Controlling the clock and sustaining long drives will be critical, and the Eagles have demonstrated that when they focus on fundamentals, they can dominate time of possession and wear down opposing defenses. On the defensive side, Vic Fangio's unit has been gradually hitting its stride. While there have been moments of inconsistency throughout the season, the Eagles' defense has the ability to impose pressure, create turnovers, and force the offense into difficult situations. Maintaining discipline, particularly in gap assignments and pass coverage, will be key against a Packers team that relies on Jordan Love's ability to read defenses and make quick decisions. Pressuring Love early and often could dictate the tempo of the game. If Philadelphia can disrupt his rhythm, it will force him into tighter windows, rush throws, and ultimately potential mistakes. The addition of Michael Carter, Gur Alexander, and Jalen Phillips provides depth and versatility, allowing Fangio to mix coverages and blitz packages, keeping Green Bay guessing and potentially opening up lanes for impactful plays. The injury situation adds another layer of intrigue. The Eagles have seen players like Nolan Smith, Jack Bennett, and Cam Jurgens practicing fully and ready to contribute, which strengthens both their pass rush and defensive coverage. On the Packers side, the loss of Tucker Kraft is monumental. Kraft was a reliable target in the passing game, a force in blocking schemes, and a red zone threat. Replacing that presence will challenge Green Bay's offensive play calling and put additional pressure on Love to find alternative options. Injuries to other key players like Matthew Golden, Bobby Wooden, and Aaron Banks also create vulnerabilities that Philadelphia can exploit. If the Eagles' offensive line maintains integrity and Hurts is able to execute with precision, Green Bay's defensive adjustments may fall short, giving Philadelphia opportunities to score on both short yardage and explosive plays. Another crucial aspect of this matchup is third down efficiency and red zone performance. The Eagles' offense has struggled on third downs at times, but their red zone execution is among the best in the league. Converting opportunities in scoring territory is vital, particularly against a Packers defense that, while strong in yardage allowed per game, has struggled to prevent touchdowns once opponents enter the 20-yard line. On third downs, sustaining drives and keeping Green Bay's offense off the field could be the difference between controlling momentum and allowing the Packers to dictate the pace. Philadelphia has the personnel, the scheme, and the recent track record to do precisely that, provided they maintain focus and limit unforced errors. Strategically, matchups to watch will include the Eagles' offensive line against Green Bay's defensive front, as well as the interaction between Philadelphia's edge rushers and Jordan Love. If the Eagles can generate consistent pressure without overcommitting, Love's decision-making could falter. Secondary matchups, including the Eagles' cornerbacks and linebackers covering Green Bay's receiving threats, will also determine the success of defensive schemes. Vic Fangio's experience and adaptability are assets in this regard, as he can adjust coverages mid-game and exploit mismatches, keeping the Packers off balance and potentially creating game-changing turnovers. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a bombshell revelation that has sent shockwaves through the NFL community, SAQUON Barkley has finally broken his silence, and the timing could not be more explosive. The star running back, known for his electrifying plays and relentless work ethic, reportedly unleashed a torrent of frustration aimed squarely at the Philadelphia Eagles organization. Sources close to Barkley claim he described the situation within the Eagles as toxic, and even went as far as saying they are destroying the Eagles from the inside. While Barkley has always been candid in interviews, insiders suggest that this statement marks a turning point. Friends and teammates say he's long been frustrated by what he perceives as mismanagement and a lack of accountability in the front office. Rumors now swirl around locker room tensions, questionable coaching decisions, and an organizational culture that Barkley allegedly believes is undermining the team's potential. Although neither the Eagles nor Barkley's representatives have officially commented, the buzz is already spreading like wildfire on social media. Analysts are dissecting every word, wondering if this signals a coming shakeup in the roster or even a potential trade request. Could Barkley, one of the most dynamic players in the league, really be on the verge of walking away from a team that drafted him with such high hopes? Adding fuel to the speculation, insiders report that some players are quietly aligning themselves with Barkley's sentiment, suggesting the unrest might run deeper than previously imagined. The question now on every fan's mind is whether the Eagles can contain the turmoil before it spills over into the season. Will management act to mend fences, or is this the beginning of a seismic shift that could redefine the franchise? Whatever happens next, one thing is certain. Saquon Barkley's words have lit a fire under the NFL world, and the coming weeks promise a roller coaster of drama, intrigue, and possibly unprecedented moves. Eagles fans, brace yourselves. This storm is far from over. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.